Hi, let's talk about subtracting two-digit numbers using a number line. Here I have drawn a crazy number line and I have a subtraction problem so we can get started. I'm going to start by putting my minuend, that's the first number in a subtraction problem. It's also the biggest number in the subtraction problem. I'm going to put that on the right side of the number line. You may remember when we were adding that we start our addition problems on the left side of the number line and then count up. When we subtract, we start on the right side and count back. So I've put my minuend, 59 in this case here, and now I'm going to count back to show my subtrahend, 37. That's what I'm taking away. I'm going to start with the ones because we always start with the ones when we subtract. I have my ones in this case is 7. So I can either count back jumps of 1 to show taking away 7. I can jump back by 5 and then 2 to show 7. But in this case, I'm just going to jump back by 7 because 59 minus 7 is easy to figure out because it's just 9 minus 7. So that equals 52. Now I can jump back by my tens. So I have a 3 here, which is 3 tens or 30. And I'll just do 3 jumps of 10. 1, 2, 3. And each of these was 10. I like to label each of my jumps because you can see I don't do them to size. So my 7 here is bigger than a 10. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, make sure that your jumps are about the same size as the numbers you want to show. So your 7 should be smaller than your 10. A 1 would be the smallest. Mine aren't that way, so I label them so I can remember. I'm going to make marks here. So now 52 minus 10 equals 42. 42 minus 10 equals 32, and 32 minus 10 equals 22. So 59 minus 37 equals 22. If I was doing a problem that required regrouping, it would look a tiny bit different, and I'll show you that. So let's say this time I'm going to subtract 6, or I'm going to have 63 minus 49. And I'll draw a number line, just a blank number line. We don't want it labeled. Okay, and I'm going to start out with my minuend on the right side, 63. And now I have to count backward by 49. But taking 9 away from 63 is kind of hard. So I'm going to get back to a 10. And notice I can count back by 3 here and get to 60. So if I count back by 3, I started with 9, I showed 3, that leaves me with 6. So now I can do 60 minus 6, or if I feel like that's too hard, let's do a 5. Generally, 5s are easier for us. So I'm going to count back by a 5, and that brings me to 55. So I had 6 left over, then I showed 5. That leaves me with just 1. So I can show 1 right here, and I'm at 54. So that's how it looks a little bit different. When we have a subtraction problem, when we don't need to regroup it all, we can just show our subtraction of ones in one big jump. That's pretty easy. But when our minuend ones are smaller than our subtrahend ones, then it's helpful to break it up into smaller pieces. And remember, our goal is always to be super flexible with numbers when we're doing math. So any way that works for you is totally fine. All right, now that I'm done subtracting my ones, I've taken care of all 9 of them. Now I need to subtract my tens, and I have 4 of them. So I'm going to do 4 jumps of 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to mark each one, and I'm going to label them as tens. The more labeling we can do, the better, because then people who look at our work understand what we were doing. Okay, 54 minus 10 is 44. 44 minus 10 is 34. 34 minus 10 is 24. And 24 minus 10 is 14. So 63 minus 49 is 14. And I can check my work by subtracting in a different way or reversing it and doing addition. Okay, time to look at the worksheet. You should have started it before watching the video, and now you can go back and make any changes you need to. After you're done, put it away for the night. Tomorrow, look at the review sheet, then try the activity. 5 to 10 minutes a night for several nights is going to help you get really comfortable with this skill. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.